Hello everyone, back to today's second video. We're going to have a look at the weather for the next week to 10 days, or today's second video, and that will take us to around the 12th of August. We'll be able to extend out beyond that. The extended GFS and E7 ensembles, they run to around a couple of weeks, and we'll have a look at the CFSV2 at the end of the video for August as well. Just say JMA Friday has been released, so that's the month ahead look ahead, and that's going to take us pretty much through the whole of August as well. So really is a case of August concerns within videos at the moment. It looks like we've got a mixed August coming up, but have a look at JMA Friday, see what's going on there. We'll be back this evening, by the way, with a look at some events and festivals that are coming up later on this evening. We've had to postpone us or cancel Solar Sunday. We was hoping to bring it to you on Sunday, but we're not going to be able to bring you Solar Sunday. However, we will have Gaz of his Sunday Roundup on Sunday, as usual. So, just going to start off with the situation in the the tropical Atlantic Ocean. This yellow X just here, we've been keeping an eye on that over the past few weeks. It's past few days, I should say. It's a disturbance area, and it is beginning to move in the direction of the Caribbean. Still quite a few hundred miles away from it, though. So, it's Disturbance 1, and there's a 20% chance of cyclone formation in the next 48 hours. This is what National Hurricane Center are saying about this feature as of 8 AM EDT, Friday, August 2nd, 2019. So it's an elongated area of low pressure located in the central tropical Atlantic Ocean, several hundred miles southwest of the Lesser Antilles, continues to generate limited showers and thunderstorms. Some slow development of this system is possible, and a tropical depression could form well east of the Leeward Islands by early next week. So it may form by early next week, while the low moves west-northwestward at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Upper level winds are forecast to become less conducive for development as the system approaches the Leeward Islands Tuesday and Wednesday next week. So for the next 48 hours, it's got a 20% chance of cyclone formation, low. In the next 5 days, it's got a 40% chance of cyclone formation, medium, but that is down from 70% yesterday. So clearly we're backing away from the chance of this disturbance area becoming tropical storm Chantal through the early part of next week. Yesterday we had a 70% chance that we get tropical storm Chantal. Now it's down to 40%. So we need to keep an eye on it. It does look as though the risks with this disturbance area are reducing a little bit at the moment, but obviously we will keep you updated about that. We've got the data in for July now. So this is the mean temperature anomaly for the UK during July 2019, set against 81 to 2010. You see it was a warmer than average month in pretty much all areas, particularly for these eastern parts of the country and also down in the south. Most places are like a degree above the 81 2010 average, but some of these eastern and southern parts of the country are over a degree above average in that darker sort of pink shading. So it was a warmer than average July for pretty much all parts of the country. Precipitation looks like that, so quite a north-south divide actually. We see that central and northern parts of the country had a wetter than average month, particularly wet through parts of northwest England and down into the North Midlands. So you can see why they've got these severe problems with flooding at the moment in the Derbyshire Peaks. That's pretty much around the wettest part of the country, and also going up to the northwestern part of England. There we see up to 200% of average for some parts of northwest England and the North Midlands. More generally, northern parts of the country have a slightly wetter than average month, but you can see that down in the south and southwest in particular, through Wales, southwest England, it's actually a drier than average month, with parts of South Wales and southwest England getting under 50% of their average rainfall. And also parts of East Anglia and South East England had a relatively dry month as well. Northern Ireland was close to average. So central and northern areas having quite a wet July, southern and southwestern parts of the country having quite a dry July, and a lot of that precipitation as well, remember, across particularly north-west England down to Midlands, a lot of that occurs in just a 2 or 3 day period at the end of the heat wave. So that explains why things have become so severe, I think, across parts of Derbyshire in terms of the flooding. This is showing lightning activity during July. So these blue areas are where we've had lightning strikes. You can see that particularly for northern England, been a lot of lightning this July, and also going up into parts of Scotland. Much less in the way of lightning. Some lightning strikes, yes, but much less in the way of it across parts of the South and West Midlands, down into central southern England, and then into this southwest corner. So really where it's wettest, we've also had more lightning this month, which is quite interesting. Where it's driest down in the southwest and central parts of England, we've actually had less in the way of lightning strikes, and also across the Northern Ireland too. Quite interesting how that's worked out. Last thing to show you is sunshine during July. So you can see that actually, despite the fact we had that tremendous heat wave at the end of the month, we haven't had a particularly sunny July at all. Most places have been close to average for their sunshine. In the far southwest, again, where it's driest, across parts of southwest Wales, southwest England, a little bit sunnier than average there, between around 110, 130% of average. Conversely, further north, it's been a little bit on the dull side, so parts of Scotland and Northern Ireland actually having 90 to 70% of their average sunshine, a little bit below average, but not a particularly sunny July by any means, despite the fact it was quite a warm month and became exceptionally hot in the final days of it, of course. This Central England temperature, so just to confirm what we said yesterday, CET is always the first thing to come in at the UK Met. We always get that within the, well, we usually get it within the morning of the first day of the new month. The CET for July came out at 17.5. It was an anomaly of 1.4 degrees above average, so it was a pretty warm month to say the least. August, for the first day, actually quite hot, coming out at 18.1, an anomaly of 2.1 degrees, a couple of degrees above average, just for the very first day of August. So I think that pretty much covers all of the July data, and I think that pretty much covers all of that. Right, these are the GFS upper air temperature and precipitation ensembles for the next couple of weeks. We're going to Oxford today, so the red line here is the 30-year upper air temperature average for Oxford. We can see that we're going to keep the temperature, upper air temperatures and surface temperatures a little bit above average over the weekend. It's going to be quite a warmish weekend, particularly in the southeast on Sunday. Somewhere like central London might see a temperature up around 27 or 28. That's getting into the into around the 80 Fahrenheit mark. So it's going to be quite warm over the weekend. Cooling through the early part of next week, though. Temperature going a little bit below average then. And then as we look ahead in towards this second week of August, up to the middle part of the month, a little bit of a cooling trend in evidence. Certainly no sign of anything reliably hot. However, just keep an eye on this ensemble member up here. It's ensemble member number 19, and that really does draw up some very extreme heat around the middle part of August. It's going at over 24 Celsius, 850 HPA, so that's bringing up a plume of very extreme heat once again, that ensemble member. Obviously, that is a big outlier within the GFS ensembles. There are one or two ensemble members, though, that are becoming quite hot around this period of 14th to 16th of August. We've got these ones just here. They're going nowhere to this level of heat, but certainly perhaps a little bit of a plume might be within the GFS ensembles today for the middle of August. But this is very, very extended range stuff. So just middle of August, possibly a little bit of a plume being indicated by some of these GFS ensemble members, and one permutation number 19, which is going very extremely hot indeed. You would normally discount that, but of course we have had two very extreme plumes of heat during this summer so far, one at the end of June, one at the end of July. So, I mean, it's very unlikely that that will verify, but I suppose because during this summer we have had such an extreme amount of hot weather, albeit quite briefly hot, but we have had some very extreme upper air temperatures pushing up from North Africa this summer. We can't totally discount that, I don't think, but again, it would be very unlikely if that came up. Precipitation-wise, so a fair amount of dry weather through the next couple of days, gradually getting more unsettled later in the weekend and through to next week. Quite a bit of precipitation coming up then, and even to the extended range, it looks like we keep quite a bit of precipitation going. I still think these ensemble graphs, the scale of them, sort of overemphasises the precipitation, makes it look a little bit more dramatic, but it is. But there's no getting away from it. The first half of August is going to be quite unsettled. Do you want to see that that GFS ensemble member? I can show it to you. It's number 19. So if we go here to GFS operational run, and then we scroll down here to the ensemble members, it's that one just there. It's ensemble member number 19. Now, if I take it to 240 hours, which is day 10, Monday the 12th of August, then, and I'll also enable mouse over, then you can see that at this point we've got a bit of a ridge building across northern parts of France with this ensemble member, and low pressure is up over Scandinavia. Now, if I run you through, you'll see how it generates that extreme heat. So it builds this ridge up from France, and then it starts to pull up these southerly, southeasterly winds. So again, we've got another push of air coming out of North Africa through the Mediterranean into the UK there on the 14th of August. Low pressure is down around Biscay. So again, this is just another very brief plume of really hot air, and then it's breaking down. Once again, low pressure slides back in from the Atlantic, probably involving some sort of thundery breakdown. And by the end of ensemble member number 19 on Sunday 18th of August, it's actually going rather cool. If I show you the upper air temperatures, you'll see how extreme those upper air temperatures do get with this ensemble member. So starting off relatively cool with ensemble member number 19 on day 10, the 12th of August. But look at this bubble of heat again across North Africa, coming out of North Africa, going into Spain and the south of France. Let's see how far north that pushes. So here it comes, Wednesday the 14th of August. Very, very extreme heat pushing back northwards again across this western side of Europe. That is the 25 Celsius isotherm getting into southern parts of England again. There with ensemble member number 19 on the 15th of August. And then this heat hangs around for a day or two into the 16th of August, beginning to get pushed away though. And as we go into the 17th, 18th of August, we're cooling back down again as the winds return into the west, and extreme heat is being pushed away. So it's kind of similar to what we've had twice so far this summer, once at the end of June, once again late in July. It's a brief plume of very, very extreme heat, and it's around for 2 or 3 days or a couple of days, and then very quickly it's pushed away again, such as we've had through this summer. Now obviously going back to the ensemble, so if we go there, and also then I hadn't really planned this out very well, had I? Sorry about that. So we'll go to that, and then we'll go to there. So again, you can see just how much of an outlier that is within the GFS ensembles. No other ensemble member is doing anything like that, although we do have these ones just here that are going for a little bit of a plume, but no other ensemble member doing anything like that. So nothing to be alarmed about at the moment if you don't like extreme heat. But just because of what's happened this summer in June and July, it's a very similar similar pattern to what we had at the end of June, at the end of July. It's very similar development, if you like. I think we just need to keep it at back our mind that is there within a GFS ensemble member. But obviously, until we was to see significantly more support, we could pretty much say it's very unlikely to come off. Only say 5-10% chance, if that. Right, temperature anomalies from the 2nd to the 10th of August, very close to or slightly above average. Notice it continues to be very, very cold indeed for time of year. Anyway, it's set against average, much colder than average across western parts of Russia, but visible summer there goes on. Precipitation anomalies from the 2nd to 10th of August. A little bit wetter than average through most parts of the country, though the far southeast is actually a little bit drier than average, so rain primarily through central, northern and western Britain. That's how the GFS is looking for Monday. Low pressure is heading in off the Atlantic on Monday. That will be bringing showers with it. In fact, the early and middle part of next week does look unsettled. Low pressure's out to the north and west. There'll be showers, if not longer spells of rain, revolving around this area of low pressure. So, pretty unsettled through the early middle part of next week. Late next week, it starts to dry out a little bit. We get rid of that low pressure up to Scandinavia, and this low pressure down here to the southwest of us is away from us, so kind of like we're building a little bit of a transient ridge across the country. Second half next week will turn things a little bit drier, probably through Thursday and Friday, but it is very, very brief weather window, and by Saturday the 10th of August we're bringing the next low up from the southwest. That's bringing cloud and persistent outbreaks of rain with it. Quite warm. The winds are up from the south ahead of that low, so possibly a little bit thundery maybe ahead of the low pressure, but the main thing is it's unsettled. And we get up towards day 10, we're still under low pressure really. One low is clearing away to the North Sea, another one's out to southwest. Slight little transient bump of high pressure again day 10. Monday the 12th of August. Then we go up towards Tuesday the 13th. This is around when that GFS ensemble member number 19 is starting to pull up hot air from the south. Now, the GFS operational run does show the wind turning into the south here on Monday the 13th of August, but there's no ridge to support any push of heat from the south, and we've got this low pressure to the west of Ireland, so it just turns a little bit warmer perhaps for a day or so. Temperatures low to mid 20s Celsius, but as this low pressure comes in, it will bring more rain with it, and certainly no sign of anything excessively hot here around the middle part of August. In fact, it's very unsettled and continues to look very, very cool as well up to the end of the GFS run, which is Saturday the 18th of August. Absolutely no sign whatsoever of anything hot doing at all there. So again, that GFS ensemble member was only one member, and it almost certainly won't verify. Famous last words, but very unlikely that it will verify. GM looking like that, so low pressure again moving in off the Atlantic on Monday the 5th of August. So early next week looks unsettled. Low pressure is going to be very close to country through the early and middle part of next week. There will be showers or longer spells of rain. A slight window of drier weather there at the end of next week in a week's time. A little bit of transient ridge ahead of this next low developing out in the Atlantic. That starts to head in from the Atlantic, so that keeps the unsettled weather going through Saturday the 10th and Sunday the 11th of August. That's how we look at day 10. Firmly under low pressure dominated conditions, relatively cool and still unsettled. ECM looks like this. Again, low pressure coming in off the Atlantic on Monday. That's going to bring showers or indeed perhaps some longer spells of rain with it. That unsettled weather stays with us into the middle of next week, and it's not until the end of next week that low pressure begins to meander its way out into the northern North Sea, and we start to generate a slight little transient bump of high pressure here from Friday but night through to Saturday the 10th. However, it is only a very brief window of drier weather, and then in comes the next low by turning it through to Sunday the 11th. Cloud and rain spilling in off the Atlantic, and we finish up back to square one. Day 10, Monday the 12th of August, looking very unsettled. Once again, low pressure well and truly in control, bringing showers if not longer spells of rain and pretty coolish temperatures as well, you would have thought. This is the options on the table within the ECM ensembles today for day 10, which is the 12th of August. Have 51 out of 51 members of the ECM ensembles with above average heights through Greenland into the middle of the Atlantic. A trough of below average heights centred over top of the country. That looks cool and unsettled for day 10. And all members of the ECM ensembles are showing that. 2 weeks time, these are the options that we've got. This is the 17th of August. Now, yesterday with these charts, there was just a few hints that we might see something a bit dry and warmer for the middle of August. But as we looked at today's scenarios, we've got 19 members of the ECM ensembles with high pressure still out towards Greenland and low pressure over and to the east of the country. That's cool and unsettled. Another 18 just here with a trough of low pressure almost over top of the UK. Again, cool and unsettled. Just these 14 are trying to raise the heights from the southwest and sending that low pressure a little bit further northwards to Scandinavia. That's trying to get us back into something a bit drier and warmer with the heights rising from the Azores. But there's only 14 doing that. And if we combine the 19 here with the 18 here, we can see that the broad thrust of the ECM ensembles looks very unsettled and actually quite cool, maybe cooler for the second half of the month compared to the first half. Finally, this is how the CFS V2 is looking for August. So it's looking unsettled. It has below average heights over the country. It has above average heights up towards Greenland, bringing pretty cool northerly winds as well, you would have thought. So it looks unsettled for August at the moment, CFS V2. Temperature anomalies are close to average. Hints of being a little bit above average with the temperature anomaly across northern Scotland. I think we can discount that. Really, it's going to be average temperatures if this comes off. Precipitation anomalies, not really showing much, but a wetter than average month would be probable based on that 500 millibar height anomaly, or 700 millibar height anomaly, I should say, which does have this ridge in the middle of the Atlantic up to Greenland and a trough over the UK and western parts of Europe. So it's not a great outlook for August, one has to say. But again, it's very early in the month. It's only the 2nd. So it's possible that August will improve, especially in the second half of the month. I think the first half, we can say that it is likely to be quite unsettled through the next couple of weeks. I don't think there's going to be any getting away from that. Low pressure is going to be in control, I think, up to the middle part of the month. The second half of the month is still up for grabs because it's over 2 weeks away. So we could see improvements for the second half of August, but certainly the first half is looking unsettled. Obviously, there's that wild outlier within the GFS ensembles that is going for extreme heat for the middle of August again. And as I explained, it's not supported really by any other ensemble member. So I think for the moment, we say that's a very, very low probability of it coming off. And the only reason I really talked a little bit about it is because of what's happened through this summer in June and July. It's a very similar progression that ensemble member goes for. Because of that, I don't think we can entirely rule it out, but I would rate it at only a 5 to 10% chance that we would see something really hot around the middle of the month. Otherwise, it looks generally quite cool and unsettled, or certainly unsettled anyway, going up to the middle of August. Right, that's it for your second video for today. We'll be back later on with a look at some events and festivals taking place next weekend. What else I'm going to tell you? So tomorrow we get broadcasts coming up for you as always on a Saturday, and another week Sunday video update. We'll begin though tomorrow with the Gauss Weather Vince August forecast. And then on Sunday, no Solar Sunday. We've cancelled that, so no Solar Sunday this week, but we will have Gauss Weather Vince Sunday Roundup. Right, so at nearly 24 minutes, or exactly 24 minutes, that's all for now, and thanks for watching.